Hey guys, so what I'm working on today is the heat exchanger. This is where the salt water comes in, cools off the coolant for the engine. What they have that go into them is these things called pencil zincs, and the previous owner did not replace the pencil zinc, I don't think, enough, and it was all corroded inside its sacrificial area. So I have to clean that all out and scrape it with this brush and do things. I don't know how much longer this heat exchanger will last because the corrosion has definitely taken its toll, but hopefully it will get this season. These things are really expensive. They're probably, I gotta look this one up, it's like $600. So keep that in mind if you have a sailboat, to replace the zincs on your heat exchanger so you don't have to spend that. But it doesn't appear to have any complete damage to it. It's just definitely past its prime. So I'm gonna clean this area out with this brush and get it so that the next zinc can fit in, and keep on top of this season so that way I can keep track of if I get any leaks out of this. It's been too cold recently to get much work done on the boat up here in New Hampshire. It's below zero almost every day for the past month. So I haven't even been to the boat in a while. Just a few small things at home like this that I took out last time. All right, pulling into the shipyard today. It'll be the first time in like a month. It's been so cold, month of January, beginning of February up here in Maine and New Hampshire, that it's been way too cold to go do anything. But today's actually going to be halfway decent, like 33 degrees and sunny, so best day since around Christmas. So let's see what we come across on the boat today. Might notice inspection stickers from 2022, but that's all right. The state of New Hampshire got rid of inspections finally. Only reason this truck would fail anyway is this stupid crack in the windshield and, well, check engine lights that don't even remotely matter. But the state of New Hampshire fought off the Gordon Darby lawsuit, which was just a big showing of corporations trying to take money from the little guy. Didn't have any actual impact on highway safety, so that's good that the good guys are winning around this year in New Hampshire. Help out people, get them able to drive cars that are perfectly safe, because most of those rules that caused cars to fail inspections are completely malarkey to begin with. So pulling in, we're going to work on a few things. Continuing on plumbing, I was struggling with because it's too cold to bend the pipes because they're all frozen solid, so probably won't be able to do any plumbing. But I'm going to keep tinkering away on the engine, replacing old coolant hoses and random little pieces of woodworking and trim and cleaning things up. Kind of reaching the point where a lot of the stuff I really need, I need it to be warmer. I got all the epoxy work I can't do in this cold, and obviously painting you're not going to want to do until it's closer to the season anyway, and even some of the engine work I don't want to do until it's a little bit warmer. It's good for the fluids to be able to flow a little bit better than a freezing cold New England winter. So we'll see what I can get done today. Hopefully the boat didn't get destroyed by the last month of snow and ice and everything else. And we'll keep moving forward. We got a nice view here coming into Portland. So now that's something that we definitely like to see when we come here. I think that's the scupper drain. A complete icicle hanging, looks like 2 feet out of the cockpit drain. Oh no. All right, so if you remember, I don't know, a month or two ago, I took out the bilges. This one, of course, is the cockpit, which is all buried in snow. But I'm able to start getting this one back in. The bilge is once again full of ice from all my little leaks everywhere. And even a pile of snow that must have blown in from the vents. But that'll have to deal with next time. In the meantime, I'm reinstalling. I got one hose in. The reason I didn't put the other hose in yet is because I'm not quite sure where it's going to drain to, but I put that hose in because it's harder to reach. I ended up taking took the whole sink out. I'm going to take that home and clean it up and make it real nice and clean up this edge and recaulk it and have it. And another hose here. Also, if anybody knows anything about this, so that's the drain for this sink. And it's got it's just a solid piece of glass going out with no seacock or anything. And what I had before was just a piece of rubber hose connecting that piece of glass to the sink. And that's it, just right to the outside. So not sure what to make of that. I'm going to reinstall this real quick. I got just a few more bolts to go. These screws are all crooked from when I had the rust them out, but they should be all right. More bolts. Where is he? I'm missing the last bolt. No. Oh, we're missing one bolt that I definitely had last time. That seems pretty sturdy. Oh yeah. That sounds much better. That sounds much better than it did before. Well, I gotta get through and find one more bolt. And then he's in. And it's dirty. Yeah, as far as the routing goes, the original hose just dead-ended up somewhere over there and did not go out. But there's 3 bilge pumps on this. I know one, the cockpit bilge, drains out that way. That one was actually connected. This one, the hose just went up and disappeared and just didn't end any. It just would have pumped water back into the boat. And then there's another scupper drain over there that the other cockpit pump goes to, but that, I think I'm only gonna fix one cockpit pump and one cabin pump. And then I'll just connect this one to where that is, but I don't wanna dig all that stuff out right now. All right, she's all in. So, small victory note here. If anyone's been paying attention, this is actually the first time I put something, well, okay, the second time. I did put this stove back in after taking that out and cleaning it. But this is the first time I put something back in, and it seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. So 10 steps back and then 1 step forward. That's how we're moving here. Finally got one tiny step forward. All right, I said a minute ago I wasn't gonna do this, but I changed my mind. So I cleared out this area, and we're looking down like the quarter berth, and we can see that where the flashlight is shining is where this bilge drains. Now that bilge also does not work, so I'm gonna disconnect that, and I'm gonna route the bilge I just put in right there as neat as I can. Gotta figure out a way to do that, and that way I'll at least have one working bilge already. All right, I couldn't film it because I was, in here friggin' swearing at myself, but there it is now, hooked up. Hose goes up and in. There's the old one that was connected there that doesn't work, so I don't know what I'll do with that if I completely remove it or not, or just block it off. But this bilge now should be fully functional. All right, on to the next step, cleaning up old wiring. So I took these guys off, and this is kind of killing me because I bet this stuff was all really expensive back in the day. But all the old instruments are called, they're Occam instruments, which you can see are these things right here. And on this side, now the depth finder, right, that's Corinthian. He still works. Everybody else, though, everybody else is Occam and does not work at all. So to clean out this engine bay and just get easier access, I am just digging through any wire that doesn't go to something that I need to go to. And I'm just going to cut it out. That should make it much easier to do the scupper drains and the hoses and all this other stuff. And when I have problems in the future, it'll be easier to find when I don't have to dig through old wiring too. But man, I bet this stuff was expensive when it was installed. So it's killing me, but that's just how it's going to go.